What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. Welcome to another episode of the Haddonfield High Alumni. I am here with my good friend, and I hope yours, Justin. How we doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You know, I'm living the dream, Justin.
I think you might be a little out of sync, but not too, like a little bit of a lag. But you're good.
Oh, yeah, I definitely am.
You're okay. You're good.
Let me
But
get
no,
it
you're
out.
good. Did you have a good 4th of July?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to a festival in this area, and we got some food, and we did some stuff, but saw some fireworks. But it was okay. Nothing special.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you? How was your 4th?
It was good. Me and my dad went out to eat, and then pretty much just came home, watched some movies, listened to the fireworks outside. So
Heck yeah.
that's what I'll do.
Hey, crying.
Crying.
I know you're in the UK, so we don't see you in here a lot during the live streams anymore, but I know that you watch the playback. So hello. Nice to see you in here.
Thank you, buddy.
What's up, John? How you doing, brother?
Hey, John.
All right, guys. So obviously, go ahead.
No, I'll say the lag is getting better. It's getting better on your end, so you're doing good.
Yeah, it's because I had other tabs open on my laptop. I had to take care of that. Ali says, "Sup, guys? Let's talk some Candyman when it comes up." 1992. Yes, we will be talking Candyman.
Well,
I was going to say really quick, guys, obviously this is a 90s horror discussion. We're going to be talking 90s horror movies, which was honestly a decade where it was kind of revived, if we're being totally honest. We got near the end of the 80s, and the end of the 80s kind of killed horror in a way because people got really burnt out on it.
Yes.
And then we had about 5-6 years where it was not a lot. And then, late 90s, explosion of horror movies. Yeah. And some of our favorites are in here. Would you agree?
I agree. And you know what? I actually did research because I was like, I love the 90s as far as like a decade, and 90s horror movies before Scream, like looking some of these movies up, there's a lot of great ones. So the way I did it is like I picked maybe like either 3 or 5 movies from each year. And then I'm going to pull my favorite one out of that year and talk about it. So
yeah. John says Scream, the 90s horror goat. Yeah, it's definitely in the discussion for the greatest horror movie of the 90s, in my opinion. It might be my favorite, but we'll get into it. We're gonna get in the nitty gritty here. William, don't touch that. Okay. Real quick, guys, I would be remiss if I did not mention, Justin, you knew I was going to have to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Scream Factory. Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, Halloween 5. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray releases that have still not officially been announced by Scream Factory, but we know they're happening. And the artwork leaked today. And guys, my opinion, Julian, hello. Ryan, what's up, guy? What's up, man? He said, hey, guys. 103178, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
I was not expecting Halloween 5. I heard about the leak last week, and I just expected 1 through 4. Yeah. Well, then 5 comes, and I'm like, well, oh man, butter me up. You know how much I love that movie. Pentagramma. Your name is Alan. What's up, man? His name is Alan.
What's going on, Alan?
What's going on? Oh, Jill. Hi, boys. Love me some 90s horror. Excited for this discussion. Yes. By the way, welcome, Jill. Hope you're doing well. No Motive Collectibles. Love 90s horror. I still remember the vibes Scream gave off the first time I saw it and just how different from other horror it was. Yeah, very different. Yeah. But yeah, guys, really quick, we're talking about these Halloween 1 through 5, 4K Ultra HD. First of all, Justin, I want to ask you, what do you think? I
love it. I mean, I love it. I like you said, we kind of knew that Scream Factory hasn't announced it yet, but the rumors were starting to hit last week with the first 4 movies. So I was really excited that we were finally getting 2, 3, and 4 on 4K. And then to top it all off, Halloween 5, a movie where a lot of people do not appreciate that movie. We love it. There are people that do love it, but it's crazy to think that that movie back in 1989 was pretty much given negative reviews, didn't do well. And so, 20 plus years later, it's now getting a 4K.
Yep.
I'm excited for that. I'm so excited. I was surprised with 4 just because, people had been talking about 2 and 3 on 4K. Never really mentioned 4. So when 4 was announced, I was surprised. When 5 was announced, I was really surprised. And I'm really happy.
It's making me, it really makes me happy, man. It makes my heart happy because you would expect these releases from Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, but 4 and 5, especially 5, doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion. And the fact that those are both included, I was like, hell yes.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. Jill says these releases have everyone freaking out, and rightfully so. Yes. Antonis, what's up, Antonis? How you doing?
What's going on, Antonis?
1031 hates Halloween 5. Oh, no.
Okay, it's fine.
I will say, of all the artwork, I think 5 is my favorite. I think 4 and 5's artwork is my favorite of these 5 releases. Michael with the scythe.
Yes.
Oh, man. Love it. Love it. Go ahead.
I would say 3 is my favorite, but outside of the Myers ones, 4 and 5 are just great. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's up, Dylan? Dylan's Horror Show. What's up, brother?
What's going on,
Dylan? And they're all being billed as collector's editions. So I'm assuming there's going to be special features on here that we haven't seen. And one of those, if you remember about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, Halloween Movies tweeted a bunch of never before seen Halloween 5 footage had been uncovered. And they said they were going to put it on a release, and then we never heard word about it. Well, we just get the announcement of this 4K with Halloween 5, and I'm wondering, are we getting a bunch of unseen footage? So
I was gonna say what I would love to happen is because the collectors, the box set, the collector's edition one, that 16 disc set, in the bonus features, Halloween 4 and 5 had great documentaries. So I hope that on the either the Blu-ray or 4K disc of Halloween 4 and 5, that people who haven't seen those documentaries finally get to see those if they didn't get the collector set.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool. But some new bonus features would be great. I'm excited for these. I cannot wait. Yes.
A lot of leaves.
Yeah. I love the fact that they actually had him with the sickle. I thought it was going to be the knife.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's really cool that he has the sickle, because the barn scene is one of the creepiest scenes in that movie.
Yep.
Such a great scene.
What's up, John? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, John?
We just wanted to touch on that really quick, guys. We're Halloween nerds. Each edition is going to be $39.99, I believe. So I am fully ready to spend $200. The Halloween fan in me is not going to allow me to not buy those. And also, guys, they will go out of print. And when they go out of print, you're basically SOL. So, and you could buy them again. You can rebuy them from someone else. They'd probably be like $100 or so. So if you want these editions, wait until I pre-order mine, guys, and then you can all go pre-order yours. No, I'm just kidding. They're not available for pre-order yet. But if you want them, and if you can't buy all 5 of them, you pre-order whichever one you absolutely have to have, because when they go out of print, it's slim pickings. Look at Sleepaway Camp 2 right now, Scream Factory's Blu-ray.
Oh,
I want that so bad. Cheapest I can find it's $150, $160. So get it before it goes out of print.
I hate to be morbid, but if in my will, you're getting my Sleepaway Camp 2 Blu-ray. Sorry to be morbid. I'm just saying.
It's funny that you think that I'll outlive you, Justin. Not going to happen. All right, guys. Let's hop right into the 90s horror movie discussion. Okay, I am a 90s kid. That was the era I grew up. Justin, yes, you are a 90s kid as well. So there was a lot of horror movies in the 90s.
Yeah.
Let's first and foremost, we're going to talk about the first one we're going to talk about is going to be the one, and I didn't grab any of these off the shelf, guys. I'm sure Justin did. He did that part for me. Didn't you? Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first one we have to talk about, we have to get this out there. We have to get it out of the way because everyone's going to want to talk about this. Scream.
Scream.
Look at the bottom. I didn't have another overlay for this, so we just went ahead and went with Scream live commentary, but it worked because it's a 90s horror movie. Yes. Jill wants to know really quick. 103178. If you want to know where the artwork is for those 4Ks, go to Instagram. Go to Dawn of the Discs, Instagram. Or go to Christian Hannah Horror, or Drum Dums, or Jill. A bunch of people have been posting them today.
I'll be right back. Hold on real quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Crying wants to know, when are we getting this Sleepaway Camp review? Well, that's actually, I'm debating right now whether that's going to be a patron exclusive or not. So, because I don't know, my reviews recently on the channel, like, they haven't gotten a ton of traffic, and I don't know why, because I love to review movies. So I thought maybe I'd dump some on my Patreon. But you're good, Phil. Don't worry about it, bro. Let's see. Charlie, hey, guys. Hey, what's up, Charlie?
What's going on, Charlie?
But Jill, I was born in 94. Justin was born in 88.
I was born in 88. So yes, I was a little bit of an 80s child, but I don't remember it, obviously. So the 90s for me.
Yes.
1990s.
Yes. Oh, triple feature. Don't you worry. We will address Freddy's Dead.
We'll talk about it.
Hey, what's up, Darius? How you doing, brother? He says, happy Michael Myers Monday.
Happy Michael Myers Monday. Like I said, I was like every year. So like I said, every year I pick like 4 or 5 movies, and I'll mention them real quick, and then with every year I'm gonna pull one movie and talk about it, because I was like, there was a lot of great movies.
Oh yeah, Justin. Ryan said, "Hey Justin, I watched Witchboard for the first time a couple days ago, and I really liked it."
Yes, Witchboard fan. I love it. Awesome. And Witchboard 2, I will be talking about. So
funny thing is, Jill says that she's 10 years older than me and 4 years older than you. I did not think you were older than me, honestly. No. Charlie, so you look great, Jill. Look great.
You do.
Charlie says, Nick, where are your American flag Speedos? I don't actually own one. I just wanted to be funny. Yeah, I was talking about that last night. I was like, because you commented, Charlie, and I was like, I hope he doesn't think I actually have one. John was born in 79. Hell yeah, brother. So you got, oh man, you were right there in the 80s for all of it.
You were 1979. I think Amityville came out that year. I could be wrong. Amityville 4, the first one. So classic.
Yes. Yep.
Movies.
All right, guys. So Scream. First and foremost, let's talk about Scream. As everybody knows, Scream started, not started. I got to be careful with my words here. I'll get crucified by the community. Revived, yes. Reinvigorated the horror slasher genre. Okay. Yep. Triple feature. You were not born in 2000. You are lying. And it did it. The reason it worked so well was because it was very self-aware. At that time, I think the only way it was going to work was to have a movie like that go, yeah, we're a slasher movie. And we totally get it. Slasher movies can be really cliche and dumb at times. And Scream capitalized on that. They, broke the fourth wall in a way. I mean, they were very meta. They were very self-aware, very funny. But, the only complaint I have with Scream is I wanted more inventive kills. It's just a lot of knife kills. And everybody says that. Love Rose McGowan's death, though, with the garage door. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
This chat just got hateful. Whatever, Sam.
Oh, my goodness. What is going on? I got to read this chat now. I'm going on.
No,
this guy.
It's Sam just giving us a hard time.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah. And so that obviously in and of itself it's a landmark film from the 90s. Well, then you follow up Scream with another 90s horror movie, Scream 2, which was many times in my life I've thought better than the first one. And then I go back and I say, no, it's not better. Then I'm like, okay, maybe it's better. I don't know. But Scream 2, another fantastic movie that helped reinvigorate the slasher genre, the subgenre. What's up, Dan?
What's going on, Dan?
Let's see. What's up, T. Parker Evans? But yeah, so Scream and Scream 2, two of the most influential, most successful, most popular 90s horror films. Justin, Scream and Scream 2, buddy. What do you think?
I love them both. Scream, the first time I saw it was watching it on a rented VHS tape from the local mom and pop's video store, and I absolutely loved it then. I still love it now. Scream 2, another thing where we rented it from Blockbuster, and I loved it then, and I love it now. I go back and forth like you. Scream 1 or Scream 2. I think for me right now it's Scream, but Scream 2 upped it a little bit more. The story's great. The kills
one of the best horror sequels, I think.
Yeah, one of the best horror movie sequels. It surprised you because, you had Randy's death in the movie, and that was a surprise. Like, that was a big surprise. And if there was one complaint I did not like the fact that Randy died. And if you've never seen it, I apologize, but it's been out 20 plus years.
Justin, I haven't seen it.
Darn it. I ruined it for you. But no, Scream 2, I think it really did up the antes. For me, it's going to be Scream right now was my favorite, but Scream 2, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, 1031 mentioned something about the movie being trimmed by the MPAA. Yeah, and it's not that it's a lack of blood for me. It's just a lack of, it seems like with all the Scream movies, that's one complaint people have. It's a fantastic franchise, but it's like every now and then, give me Ghostface doing a little something different, not just a knife. But again, I digressed. It's a minor complaint, don't worry, guys. I love these movies. Okay. I love these movies. T. Parker Evans. Okay. Ali says Scream 2 isn't nearly as good as the original. Oh my goodness. T. Parker Evans. Actually, my first horror film I watched when I was a little kid. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Darius, I saw Scream when I was in first grade and was instantly hooked to slashers. Made me feel a way I never had before. Yeah. And I feel like, to me too, it's one of the most easily accessible when you're younger too, because it's not really scary. So it's just so fun, and it's funny, and it's exciting, and I don't know. It's just, I love Scream. I love Scream.
What's going on, Christian Hanhor? What's going on, buddy?
Oh my God. I thought I blocked this Christian Hanhor guy. He keeps coming in my chat.
I say the only creepy moment in Scream, and I still think it's one of the best openings, is the Drew Barrymore scenes. Like, that scene is still something that gets to me.
Yeah.
I love that. And, obviously it came out in 2000, and maybe we'll talk about 2000s horror movies at some point, but Scream 3 I love. So, absolutely love them.
Yeah. Both are fantastic. And while we're talking about, Christian says Wishmaster fans step up.
Hey, we're going to talk about that.
We're not there yet. But and it's funny too, while we're talking about it really quick, we're talking about Scream, we're talking about 90s horror. I went ahead and watched Fear Street last night. I know Christian's seen it. I know a lot of you guys have. Justin plans on watching it. When are you going to watch it? Tonight. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil anything. Don't worry. It's enjoyable. It really is cool. Like, it's fun. 94. And it takes a lot of influences from Scream. You can definitely tell, just from the opening sequence. I will say the nostalgia for the 90s isn't really there. It's not really there that much. And I think that I don't know, it's fun. And the acting's good. The kills are awesome. There are some really cool kills in it. But I just wanted to mention that because I've heard a lot of people say that too. While they really enjoy it, it just seemed like there wasn't a ton of nostalgia for the 90s there. And you would really think that they would have, kind of hammered that home, especially because I grew up in the 90s. You did, Christian did. Like, I'm sure once you watch it, you'll be able to like realize too, like, man, there isn't a ton of nostalgia in there. Like, and I get it. It's a tough, you walk a tightrope there because you're like, well, you don't want to be one of those like Stranger Things ripoffs in the sense that half of your content is just about nostalgia. But it's like it works for Stranger Things. It could work for you too. I mean, but I digress with that. You're gonna like it, Justin. You're gonna have fun with it.
I know. Oh, it's Rudy said I'm slacking. I know, guys. I'm terrible. But I'm watching it tonight. I will watch it tonight. I had to watch Terminator 2 this weekend for its birthday. I'm sorry.
Jill, the soundtrack. Also, Justin, you're going to love the soundtrack. You're going to know every song. Every song. You hear it and you're just like, Christian doesn't like that they use More Human Than Human in it because I think that came out in 95. And Christian said in his review, he's like, I don't want to nitpick or anything, but I think that came out in 95. I was going to say, I've heard some people say that like, they really enjoyed it, but some of their like songs or timelines or whatever it may be it's a little bit off. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably do a review on my YouTube channel and talk. Yeah, I will say though, I think part 2 looks better. I think, and they show the trailer for it at the end of the first one, and I'm like, oh yeah, 78 out of camp with a mass killer. Yeah, give me all that.
70s horror movies, 70s slashers, 70s camp slashers, or just camp slashers in general. I love.
Yep. So, all right, Justin. So we talked about Scream and Scream 2, obviously. Justin, give me another 90s horror movie that you pulled off the shelves.
All right, so I'm going to go with each year. So I'm starting with 1990. Oh. I've named 4. I picked 4 movies that I put on a list, and I've only picked one that I'm really going to showcase. So Child's Play 2 came out in 1990. Exorcist 3 came out in 1990. The Night of the Living Dead remake came out in 1990. And Flatliners, one of the most underrated films, came out in 1990.
4 great movies.
Out of the 4, you what?
4 great movies there.
Thank you. I agree. The one that I picked, though, and it might surprise some people, but I picked Exorcist 3 for 1990.
Oh, okay.
I almost picked Child's Play 2. I love that. I love all these, and there's so many other great 1990 movies. But Exorcist 3, when I first saw it, I didn't appreciate the movie like I do now. And the last 2 or 3 years watching the movie every October, I love this movie. It is such an awesome sequel to the first film. And this might be blasphemy. I don't know.
Oh, no.
This is my favorite Exorcist movie. I love it so much. I love the original, but, for a third film and for a movie that came out, I think at the time, maybe 14, 16 years later after the original movie, it is a scary film. Exorcist 3 is a scary, scary movie. And I love it. Brad Dourif's performance is amazing. The Exorcist at the end, the exorcism scene at the end is creepy. You got some creepy imagery around there or throughout the movie. And some really creepy scenes. And of course, the scene that everybody talks about is that, decapitation scene that you don't see with the nurse. But
I hate to interrupt you. I just want to ask you a question, Justin.
You're fine.
So for each year, did you do the same thing? Did you pick multiple movies from each year?
I did.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do, guys. We're not just going to fly from the hip. Justin is going to control this one, okay? He's going to name each. We're going to go year by year. He's going to name the year. He's going to show the one that he would have picked out of the 4 that's his favorite in that year. And then I'll mention my favorite out of the 4 he picked. And then we'll go to the next year. That's how we're doing it.
Real quick, I will say Misery. I love that movie, but I as far as like picking the 4 movies, I was like, Misery is a great film and I love it, but I kind of wanted to go for some underrated. And then, it was the year of the sequel. So I picked Child's Play 2. So
hell yeah.
Love Misery though. All right.
Yeah.
So,
and that's going to be the one that I was going to say. So out of this year, the 4 that Justin mentioned, my favorite, Child's Play 2. It is my favorite Child's Play film. I've talked about this ad nauseum with you guys. I got a ranking for the series if you want to look at it. I think it has everything you needed. It did everything the first one did well, with some better characters, I think, adding Kyle in there. Kyle's a fantastic character. Alex Vincent acts way better in that movie than in the first one because he was so young in the first one. I get it. You get more Chucky. You get one of my favorite lines in the entire franchise of "How's it hanging, Phil?" And then the Toy Factory ending. I mean, Child's Play 2, 1990. That's my favorite horror film from 1990.
I love that. And, I always go back and forth between Child's Play and Child's Play 2 is my favorite in the series. I think Part 2 is such a great movie. And, I almost picked it, but I was like, I'm going to go Exorcist 3 on this one. And somebody mentioned Night of the Living Dead with Tony Todd. Yes, that was the one I was talking about.
That was Darius. Yep.
Flatliners is a great movie, too. I love Flatliners.
Did you see the remake?
I did. I liked it. I mean, I wasn't one that hated it, but I liked it. It's definitely not the original, but it was decent.
I haven't seen it yet, and I was kind of trepidatious about it because I heard that people weren't big fans of it. So, and I know it bombed at the box office. So, I didn't know if it was going to be any good or not.
It was decent. It was a decent movie. So,
and then Ali, yes. Let's go. Child's Play 2 love in here. I watched Child's Play 3 yesterday on the 4th of July when my son took a nap because I hadn't seen it in probably 3-4 years. And I definitely enjoyed it more this time around. I really did. I've always maintained that I think the ending in the Fun House is a fantastic ending.
Love it. Yeah.
But I still have my issues with it. I don't really like the Tyler kid. I really just don't care for him. But I mean, the kills are cool. Chucky's funny. Anyway, Justin, were you going to go 91 next?
91. So 91. This time I only picked 3, but I will say I did not pick Silence of the Lambs. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Again, I kind of went through like a list of 91 movies, and I'm like, there's some great ones on there, some underrated ones, again, some sequels. So the 3 that I picked, Child's Play 3, The People Under the Stairs, and Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back.
Okay.
So I might be crazy. If you think I'm crazy, let me know down below. I know, guys. I know. I went with Sometimes They Come Back, though. I love, again, all 3 of those. I love Silence of the Lambs. There's some great ones that came out in 1991. But for me, I think this is, again, an underrated one. And if you've never seen Sometimes They Come Back, some love from Jill with Sometimes They Come Back. This is a great Stephen King adaptation, directed by Tom McLaughlin, who directed Friday the 13th Part 6, yep. One Dark Night. He's probably directed some other things that I'm just blanking on right now. But those are the 3. When I talk about Tom McLaughlin and, I want to watch one of his movies, I pick one of those 3. And Sometimes They Come Back is a very underrated Stephen King adaptation. I think this one's based... shocker, I believe, was 1989, I believe. 89?
Yeah, 19? I think it was the end of the 80s.
Yeah, I always thought it was 91. I almost went for it, and I had to look that up. I'm sorry, 1031. Again, I love Silence of the Lambs. Do not boycott me. Do not boycott me. I'm a kind-hearted person that loves people. But
yes,
sometimes they come back.
It was 89. I just looked.
Okay, but Sometimes They Come Back. If you've never seen this movie, great 1991 movie. Very creepy. I was scared when I first saw this, and it was like sci-fi back in the early 2000s. I had no idea what I was watching, and there's some creepy moments throughout it. So,
well, I will say, you're talking about sci-fi creepy moments as a child. Do you remember the Chupacabra movies on Sci-Fi? Did you ever watch those?
Yes. I
Dude,
remember.
Those scared the crap out of me as a kid.
I do remember those.
So of the ones Justin named, okay, so I'm going to say my favorite horror film of 1990 was Silence of the Lambs. Or 91, my bad. But of the 3 that Justin named, I'm going People Under the Stairs. And
great one. Love it.
I say that movie is so more heavily layered than you think. When I first bought that movie, I remember buying it and thinking it was just, okay, this is just going to be, a Wes Craven horror flick. I didn't even know what to expect. And you get so much more than that. It's like a thriller. It's just really, really cool. I really dig that movie. It's actually one of my favorite Craven films, believe it or not. And so out of the three you mentioned, 91, I would go with People Under the Stairs. But I would say my favorite 91 film that I could think of off the top of my head would absolutely be Silence of the Lambs. And that's hard because I hear people argue about this movie a lot. Oh, it's not a horror movie.
It's a horror movie, yeah.
And it's like, it definitely is. I mean, it's a mystery, it's a crime, it's a crime thriller mystery type thing. But you can't tell me that when you first watched that, if you were young at the time, that it didn't freak you the hell out.
Yeah.
Something horrifying about some guy wanting to capture people and keep them in a hole in his basement. That's so. I digress there, but I see. By the way, I see everybody in the chat. Don't worry, we're watching you guys. If you got questions, we'll answer them. Jill, I agree. Jordan Peele doing a People Under the Stairs remake could be awesome.
By the way, guys, I know how to see these comments now, so I'm seeing every one of you guys. I'm keeping my eye on every one of you. Every one of you. Sir.
So yeah, that's 91 for me, 91 for Justin. Justin, do you have an honorable mention from 91?
For 91? You know what? I'll give Silence of the Lambs an honorable mention. Another reason why I didn't really pick it too much is because I think out of the films that I talked about, it's the one I've seen the least. I do love the film, but it's not one of my go-to movies. I do love it though. Yeah. And then somebody mentioned Ernest Scared Stupid. So I don't consider it a horror movie, but as a kid, those trolls in the movie terrified me. They do not make kids movies like they did back in the 80s and the 90s. They were creepy.
Was Freddy's Dead 91?
I think so. Yeah, 91.
Okay, well,
the original It miniseries was 1990, but that's a great one too.
Yeah, that is a great one. I will say though, talking about Freddy's Dead really quick because Sam keeps mentioning it. I'm just gonna say that is easily my least favorite film in 1991 that I've seen.
Freddy's Dead.
Yeah, that movie. We've talked about that movie. I really don't want to get into it because I feel like it's gonna give me like a brain aneurysm. But I really don't care for that movie. I don't know if I'm sure I'll watch the movie again in my life. Okay, I'm sure I will, just to give it another fresh watch. Say maybe if my opinion changed, but I'll probably watch. I will not watch that movie more than 3 or 4 times the rest of my life. I mean, I really just don't like it. Really, just don't.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I mean, we talk about the main franchises like Friday the 13th, Halloween. Well, I don't know about Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, I like all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, but Freddy's Dead for me. Out of the Nightmare films, that's the only movie I don't like. I can watch any of the other movies and have a good time with them. And in fact, I will be mentioning one coming up very soon. But yeah, Freddy's Dead. Yeah, if there's a film that I hate to use the word hate, but if there's a film that I hate, I know people think I like everything, but Freddy's Dead, I do not. I'm not a Freddy's fan. And if you are, no problem. But for me, I don't like it.
I appreciate Troll 2, Ryan, but that's because it's so bad. It's so bad it's good. Like
so bad it's good.
But yeah, all right, Justin, hit us with 1992.
Oh, so I forgot to pull this one, but I will say, Jill, shout out to Sleepwalkers, great movie. But the 3 that I put on my list, obviously Candyman, Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I love. I feel like that's underrated. And Pet Sematary 2. I think out of all the films that came out in 1992, those are some of the 3 that I go to the most. So the one that I picked, though, and I really feel like in the 90s, it's still one of the best, and that is Candyman. Candyman is still a movie that I would say would be in like my top 10 scariest movies. And I will every time I watch this movie, I never look at mirrors the same way. They kind of creep me out at times.
1031. Yeah, it was Child's Play. No, for 91.
91. What did I pick?
Yeah.
Sometimes they come back.
And I picked The People Under the Stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Candyman. Definitely one of the best from the 90s. I absolutely love this. I love all the movies I mentioned, and I love a lot of other films that came out in 1992. But yeah, I love Candyman. Tony Todd, you know, unlike Freddy and, you know, some, you know, prosthetic makeup on the faces, they didn't do that with Tony Todd. The things that made him creepy were the voice. His voice was creepy. It wasn't like scary. They didn't try to do like anything scary with it, but it was just kind of creepy. It always gives me goosebumps when he first encounters Helen in the parking garage and you hear him say, Helen. That gets me every time. And then, of course, the hook. The hook is creepy. Very, very creepy. So Candyman is the one that I picked. I love Candyman.
1031, the choices that Justin had for 91 were The People Under the Stairs, Sometimes They Come Back, and Child's Play 3. And then the honorable mention was Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
So 92. This is going to come as a shock to no one. It's Candyman. It's Candyman for me, too. It's my favorite horror film of 92. One of my favorite horror films from the 90s. I remember that movie scared the crap out of me as a kid. Because as a kid, you know, you hear the urban legend of Bloody Mary. And it was very similar in the sense of like, oh, don't look in a mirror and say her name or, so the advent of, okay, this is a movie about a guy that if you say his name 5 times, he's going to, come kill you with his hook hand. That scared me as a kid. And me and my friends, like we would, I actually remember when I was younger, we wouldn't do it. We could never say it enough times, in the mirror before we like freaked out and we were like, no, we're not doing it. I mean, it really, really did have an impact on me. Tony Todd born for the role. And he's such a great actor and he's been in so many things, but in my opinion, this is the best thing that he did. I love Candyman. I really, really do. And I think that I will be really upset if he isn't featured enough in this new one. And I know what they're going for. And you can tell in the trailer, they're going for like passing of the torch, so to speak, to this new guy that it's so obvious that he's going to become Candyman. It's so obvious. Or maybe they're doing that on purpose and they're trying to make it look obvious and it's not obvious. And if that's the case, awesome. But I really just hope they don't forget about Tony Todd because I know he's involved. So it's like, give us a couple good scenes of him for sure. Don't touch that, buddy.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, I hope we get some Tony Todd in this movie. And we're supposed to get the character Helen. She's coming back somehow. Like they're bringing in an actress that looks like Virginia Madsen back in 1992. So we're supposed to see an appearance from Helen. I think 2 of the other scenes that creeped me out with the first movie, and I remember this as a kid and I was terrified and I only saw parts of the movie, was the opening when the college students are telling Helen about a girl that was killed when she was babysitting, and you see the girl in the mirror say the name Candyman 5 times and turn off the light, and you see Tony Todd in the back. That was creepy. Mm-hmm. And then the very end of the film when Helen comes back and she's the new Candyman and she kills her husband Trevor. That was some creepy stuff.
Hell yeah. Crying. You need to get on that, brother. You gotta see Candyman. If
I spoiled anything for you, Crying, I am sorry.
Especially with the new one coming out. You gotta check it out. Fantastic movie. Let's see. We people were talking about some other movies from 92.
Raising Cain. I've never seen Raising Cain.
Hellraiser 3. Or no, that's next year. Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Jill said Buffy.
I love it. Again, I don't consider it a horror movie, but I do love it, guys.
Yeah.
I will let you know. I have like a small piece of paper. So I could have picked so many more, but I was like, okay, let's just pick like either, again, 3 or 4 or 5 of them. So.
Yeah. All right. 93.
93. So the movies that I picked, Leprechaun, Witchboard 2, Return of the Living Dead Part 3, When a Stranger Calls Back, and Hellraiser 3.
Ooh.
So, but I went for probably one of the underrated ones from the year, and that is Witchboard 2. It's just because this movie, it's I go back and forth each day. Do I like Witchboard 1 or Witchboard 2 the most? But I think Part 2 is an awesome sequel. I remember renting this quite a bit at the video store. I still have a VHS tape of this movie. And when I was going online and I was going through a list of 93 horror movies that came out in 1993, this movie didn't pop up. So I think it's a very underrated movie. If you've never seen Witchboard 2, give it a watch. Again, I go back and forth. Do I love the first one more, or do I love the second one more? So Witchboard 2, guys, that is my pick. Body Bags is another great one. I love Body Bags. But Witchboard 2 for me, that's 93.
Okay. Give me your choices again.
Okay, I got Leprechaun, Return of the Living Dead 3. I got Hellraiser 3, and When a Stranger Calls Back.
Okay. For me, I'm going, my favorite of the lot there is Leprechaun. Okay. And it's funny because now as an adult, I always pass on rewatching it. You know, like it was around Halloween, and we were looking at movies on HBO Max, and I kept scrolling past Leprechaun. I was like, I really want to show you this movie. And she's like, if you want to, like, go ahead. And I'm like, no, I just think you're going to hate it because you don't appreciate like the cheesy, corny movies like that. And so we never ended up watching it. I haven't watched it in years, but that movie scared my entire family when we were kids. My brother, Matt, my older brother, actually wouldn't go down into the basement of our house when we were younger because it was one of those basements that had the steps that was just a wooden board and nothing behind it. So he was afraid the leprechaun was going to grab his ankle. And my mom still to this day, he's like 32 or 33. My mom still to this day gives him a hard time about that, about the leprechaun. She used to go like, I'm the leprechaun. And just to freak him out. And yeah, I mean, you guys have heard me tell stories about my mom. That woman is cuckoo sometimes in a good way. Yeah, that movie scared the crap out of us. And now, going back as an adult and rewatching it, I was like, I really don't know why this movie scared me. I mean, as a kid, I guess I could understand it, but because it's super campy and it's super cheesy. Yeah. But I mean, come on, guys, can we just talk about Jennifer freaking Aniston was in Leprechaun? Yeah. Like, yeah. So yeah, I would pick Leprechaun. And and then Jill mentions The Crush and Hocus Pocus. Yep.
Both great. I saw Hocus Pocus at the drive-in in 93, and that was the last movie I saw at the drive-in. I need to go back and revive that so much.
And Thomas, Leprechaun 3 is my favorite. Jason Goes to Hell from 93. Yes, Dan, you know me, brother. I would never put that on my list, but more power to you. Yeah, I will never, ever, ever tell somebody that they're wrong for liking a movie. You know what I mean? Like, if you find enjoyment in it, I honestly wish I could. Like, I wish, I don't go into a movie not liking it. I just really didn't care for it. And it's funny that Dan brings that up because actually today, guys, I got my Friday the 13th 8-movie collection Blu-ray set in the mail.
Nice. The new one that came out?
Just the Paramount one, right?
Yeah, the new, the newest. Sweet.
Yeah, I just got that, and that was because I had people saying, "Oh, just get him, man, just get him." So I was like, "Screw it, I'll get him." And I'm very happy with it. It looks good. Can't wait to watch some of those movies on the Blu-ray transfers. But and there's a lot of special features on there too, so I'm excited about that. But all right, yeah, Leprechaun for me.
Leprechaun, I will say that was one. So I lived in a small town in Oregon, and like Witchboard 2 and so many others that I've talked about, and just growing up, for well, not growing up, but for a couple of years there, um, there was that mom and pop video store, and me and my sister and friends, the one aisle that we would always go to was the horror movie aisle. And Leprechaun, I saw it for the first time because of walking in that video store and renting it. And like you said, as a kid, it was pretty creepy. The opening's pretty creepy. Leprechaun as a kid could be scary. Now it's a lot more fun, but yeah, there was some terrifying stuff as a kid.
Yeah, I have not seen Leprechaun Origins, Antonis, but I think Justin has.
I'm not a fan. Sorry, guys. If you're a fan, Leprechaun Origins, that one.
That's without Warwick Davis, right?
Yeah, it was bizarre. Jason Goes to Hell, I will say, I enjoy Jason Goes to Hell, but I didn't pick it out of the three. Again, there's so many movies I could have picked, but I just picked either, again, three or four or five of them. So,
yeah. Don't you worry, crying. There's going to be a lot of talk about some of those movies here in a minute. Triple feature. I know you're just kidding, but I really enjoy Friday Part 5. I think it's fun.
I do too. Fire in the Sky. A lot of mention for that one. Great movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it though, so I got to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
A great movie.
All right. So now we are at the year where I graced this world with my presence. And that was 1994. And what a year that was. I was alive in 1994 for 9 days because my birthday is December 22nd. So barely born in 94, but the year I was born. So Justin, tell me some of the horror movies you picked from the year I was born.
So we got Wes Craven's New Nightmare. So you were born the year that Wes Craven had a nightmare. Did you say great?
Yeah, I like that movie. I did.
Okay. Night of the Demons Part 2, which I love that. In the Mouth of Madness, Carpenter's movie. Yes. Underrated Carpenter movie. And then somebody mentioned Brain Scan, so 1994. So those are some of the ones that I mentioned. Again, there could be a lot more, guys. Tammy the T-Rex. That's fun. That is a fun one. But the one I went for, guys, is, and again, this could be blasphemy, but it's my favorite of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and that is Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
That's what I'm picking too.
Is that sweet? So I'm seeing Night of the Demons 2 love. I love Night of the Demons 2. Awesome. In the Mouth of Madness. Great. Love it. But yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. For me, it brought back the scares of at least the first two movies. Wes Craven obviously came back to direct it. So it was really cool to see the return of Wes Craven. I mean, again, and if you love Freddy's Dead, that's awesome. But for me, Freddy's Dead was it was a film that I just do not like. And so, the comedy in that was just bizarre. And it just was not good. So when he came back to direct, when Wes Craven came back to the series and directed New Nightmare, I was so happy. And, Freddy's scary again. I love the fact that this took place in the real world. And so, Heather Langenkamp, Robert Englund's in the movie as himself, Wes Craven, John Saxton, so many others are all having to, what's the word I'm looking for? Having to they're having nightmares of Freddy pretty much, and having to cope with that. And I think this is by far Heather Langenkamp's best performance. Like, I love her performance in this. Miko Hughes is in this movie. He does a great job in it. Yeah, I love it. The scene that they recreate with, the what's her name? What is her name? The babysitter in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Julie. Julie. Her death scene, creepy. I know they recaptured the Tina death, but it's creepy in this movie. But yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Absolutely love it. 1994 for me.
Getting
Wes
a lot
Craven.
of love for In the Mouth of Madness. Dan is really he's laying it on thick of his love for In the Mouth of Madness, and
I,
you know what? It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
yeah, it's great. Love it.
My
Love it.
my pick is also going to be New Nightmare, and you know I understand a lot of the problems that people have with New Nightmare, but I feel like those problems are just kind of misplaced.
Yeah.
To not like New Nightmare because Freddy doesn't show up till about an hour, and I think it's 18 minutes in or something like that. Is
Yeah.
it? I mean, yeah, it's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, so I get it. Like, that's kind of a bummer. But at the same time, what they were going for with this movie was this was supposed to be more or less a character study on Heather Langenkamp, and very psychological. It's supposed to make you think. It was supposed to be more story and character driven than Freddy driven, because we had gotten to a point where a lot of these movies were Freddy driven. I'm not a big fan of Nightmare 4, but I can watch it because Freddy's the main character, and I like Freddy.
Yeah.
But this movie, Wes Craven was, you know, like, I want to go a different route with this, and I want to show people that a seventh movie in a horror franchise can be taken seriously and can be well made. And for that, I think that New Nightmare is criminally underrated.
Yes.
And I think it's in my top 3. I think it's number 3 for me in my franchise ranking. And it's just because also Freddy's look is creepy. I mean, Freddy's look is really creepy. And I love that Gage was in it, you know? I mean, how can you not love Lil Gage? But I see a lot of people in the chat, you know, crying for one, saying, you know, understands what they were going for, just didn't enjoy it. And, you know, that's fine. I mean, that's totally fine. But I just hate when the hate for the movie is simply just because they did try something different. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to dislike a movie, give me like substantive reasons why, you know, not just, well, I didn't like it because didn't have enough Freddy for me. Like, well, okay, but does that mean it's a bad movie? You know what I mean? Like, so no, if you have your reasons, you have your reasons, and I respect them. But
yeah,
I really dig New Nightmare.
That's awesome to hear. I love it, and I wish it would have done better when it came out because it was not a hit. Like, people were, I think, after Freddy's Dead, were just done with Freddy at the moment. And it's a shame because it's, again, my personal favorite of the franchise. The one thing I love about it, and you mentioned Freddy doesn't show up until like at least maybe 45 minutes into the movie.
It's actually an hour, and someone tell me the correct. I believe it's an hour and 18 minutes till you see him on screen.
But the idea, even though you don't see him, the fact that these actors are being affected by Freddy, his presence is just there, like his spirit is there, and that's the creepy thing about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, because in this movie, he's treated like a demon, the demon, you know, and that I thought was really cool too, because damn, the last Nightmare movie was Freddy's Dead, and Freddy was treated like a bumbling idiot. Yeah, like, I mean, so to take it back, strip it to its roots, and go, let's make Freddy freaky again. Like, let's make the fact. And Wes Craven really wanted to shroud his monster in darkness for a lot of the movie till the end. And you know, a lot of people that haven't watched a lot of old horror, you know, we're talking black and white, we're talking Bela Lugosi, we're talking stuff like that. You know, a lot of that type of stuff. That's how those movies were. It took an hour and a half for you to see this monster. And I respect the hell out of that. I mean, I really do, because nowadays you can't do that. You can't do that because modern audiences don't have the attention span and the patience. You know, if you make a movie called, like, look at Godzilla 2014. What was the biggest complaint you heard about that? Well, there wasn't enough Godzilla. And it's a complaint of mine too. I think there should have been more Godzilla because it took us half the movie to get there. But goes to show modern audiences, like myself, sometimes I can be guilty of it. We all can, of wanting to see it because we're so used to just seeing it all the time. Sometimes we need to take a step back and be like, look.
Go ahead.
I
was saying, look at Jaws. I mean, and I apologize if I'm interrupting you, buddy. So just let me know if I do. But Jaws, that again, you really didn't see the shark in that movie too much, and it worked so well. Like you really didn't see him until maybe 45 minutes into it. I don't know. Like it was a while before we got to see him. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, 1031 says let's move on to 95. Yes, sir.
95.
All right, Justin. Let's go to 95.
Right. So I picked three, but again, there's a lot more out there. But the main three that I picked, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, which again, I looked on the list of movies and that wasn't even mentioned. I'm like, we'll talk about that in a second.
Oh, we will.
Village of the Damned, Carpenter's movie, which I find to be underrated. I love Village of the Damned. That was one of those, living in Oregon, going to the mom and pop video store and renting the movie and falling in love with it. Somebody mentioned Demon Knight, The Ice Cream Man. Jill, you're awesome. Those are great ones. And then the other one I picked was Tales from the Hood, which still rewatching it, there's some creepy moments in that movie. So, but yeah, out of those three, the one that I picked though was Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Let's go, Justin. We are 2 for 2 in the last 2 years.
Bam. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Again, this is like Wes Craven's New Nightmare, one of the most underrated of the franchise. And probably, in my opinion, it might be the most underrated one because, when people talk about the sequels, you either talk about the ones people love or the ones that people don't like. And I really feel like The Curse of Michael Myers is one of the underrated ones of the franchise. Again, if not the most underrated one. A lot of people don't talk about this one. And for the longest time, I would watch all these movies on TV, all the Halloween films, and Curse of Michael Myers would not get a lot of play. So yeah, I love this. And I know the movie has editing problems. I know they had to go back and reshoot some stuff. But I love this movie so much. I think Michael is scary in this movie. Paul Rudd, there was some mention of Paul Rudd. He's great in it. I like the actress in the film who plays, is it Carrie Strode?
Kara Strode. That is Marion Hagen.
Yes, I think she's great in it. I just think this is a scary Halloween movie for me. And then, of course, you got the soundtrack. I love the fact that they kind of put in a heavy metal, tone to the Halloween score. I think that's great. I love Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. And the memories I have with this wasn't really seeing the movie for the first time, but going in a video store again. And there was a wall of brand new movies. And Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers was one of them. And I remember just seeing this cover for this. Somebody mentioned which one is our favorite.
Yep, I just pulled that comment up.
You what?
I just pulled the comment up. Yep.
Okay. Theatrical cut is my favorite. There's things I really like about the producer's cut, but the theatrical cut is my preferred version of the movie.
Yep, same here. Obviously from 95, easy for me. It's Halloween 6. It's the one I'm picking. And guys, really quick, I want to say too, if you guys don't like the movie, like that's totally cool. That's totally cool. We respect each other's opinions here. And I know all you guys, nobody's had a problem in the chat or anything. Don't worry. I'm not like, hey, going into dad mode. Like, no. Just don't dislike the video or leave the stream if we talk about a movie that you're not a big fan of. Just mute us and look at our beautiful faces for a minute, and we'll be back on something else. But Halloween 6 for me, man. And that was the movie that took the longest for me to get into in the franchise. And I've talked about that before, is how like the first time I saw it, I was like, that sucked. Like I really didn't like it. And over the years, just every year when I'm rewatching these movies, I was like, God, what is it about this movie that keeps bringing me back? Like, I love it. I think it's super, super fun. And I think that I prefer the theatrical cut as well. That is my preferred cut. Because it's weird, but it's not as weird as the producer's cut. Yeah. I just love the movie, guys. Actually, I wanted to let you guys know while we're talking about it. What was it? Saturday night, I ordered a 27 by 40 or 26, something like that. I don't know. Big ass Halloween 6 poster.
Nice.
A big Halloween 4 poster.
Yeah,
I have my Halloween Kills poster on the way.
love it.
So I'm moving into a new house in like 7 weeks. So I don't even know if I'll display it. I haven't even displayed my 5 poster. It's up on top of my shelves right now. But it's going to be great when I move into the new house, guys. You guys, we're going to have Halloween 2018 one sheet, H2, Rob Zombie's Halloween, Halloween 5, Halloween 4, Halloween Kills, Halloween 6. It's going to be great. So obviously, the reason I mentioned that is because obviously, I'm going to pick Halloween 6. Halloween's my baby. Halloween 6. Love the movie. Crying wants to know what people don't like about the movie. Well, what people don't like about the movie is the cult explanation. People hated the explanation for Michael.
Yeah.
A lot of people complained about the kid storyline too. It revolving around the family again. Said Dr. Loomis didn't get enough to do. Like, those are some of the biggest complaints when it comes to that movie. A lot of people say even Paul Rudd was bad. I don't think he's bad at all. Like,
No.
he was supposed to be a really weird dude, and he played it perfectly. Like,
He did a great job. Yeah. And it's Donald Pleasant's last movie too, so you got to think that too. Like, for me, Donald Pleasance was the franchise. Like,
yeah, Dan, you got to give it to Halloween 6 just because of Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Pleasance, he was the heart of the franchise. And, and then Jamie Lee Curtis came back for H2O. But yeah, The Curse of Michael Myers, I love it. It's one of my go-tos. And by the way, Jill, and it's Rudy, I'm seeing your Michael Myers thick comments.
Yeah,
so
I saw him too.
He was pretty thick in that. And Triple Feature mentioned Candyman 2. I haven't seen Candyman 2 in a long time. So I'm actually going to be rewatching all 3 of those Candyman movies leading up to the new one. So
yeah,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I will say too, Triple Feature mentioned something about 31 or what, I don't know. I try to block it out of my head. He did a ranking of the Rob Zombie movies today. I watched it earlier, and
I haven't watched it yet.
And it's he had 31 as the worst one, and his for his reasoning, he just goes, "What is this movie? Like, who edited this movie?" Like, and that's like all he says about the movie. Yeah, it's so yeah, you guys know I don't like 31. But yeah, Halloween 6. All right, Justin.
Okay, so
96.
So 96, I did put Scream down there, but we talked about Scream, and the other 3 that I picked, and again, please leave some comments down below, guys, because I was going through 96 movies. The Craft, which, by the way, they did not, when I looked at the list of movies, they did not mention The Craft. Shame on them, because The Craft is a great movie. So I forgot to write that down, but that's a great one. I consider this, and Jill mentioned The Crush, because The Crush in some way is its own. It's more of a thriller, but if you want to categorize it somewhere in the horror movie genre, you can, because you got Fatal Attraction and all those movies. But I got Fear with Mark Wahlberg, which, that's one of my picks. And then Bad Moon, which is a werewolf movie. So if you guys don't know what Bad Moon is, that is a great werewolf movie. That's one of my favorites. Scream, The Craft, Fear, Bad Moon. I will lay all 3 of those out there. And the one I picked was, and again, it's more thriller, but it's got a lot of horror movie elements to it. Very kind of eerie and creepy. Fear. And From Dusk Till Dawn, I think it was 96, and I totally just blanked on that one. But Fear, I picked this one. I love Fear. It's got some intense moments in it. The dog scene, I do not like, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I do not like that. But I love Fear. I feel like it's definitely one of the underrated films of the 90s. And I think over time, it's getting a little bit more love. Yeah, I love this. Great soundtrack, great performances. Mark Wahlberg is a great villain in this. And of course, you got the climax when, it all takes place in Reese Witherspoon's house. And it's a great climax. So yeah, Fear, I love this. It's definitely one of my favorite movies. So
That's right. All
Oh,
right.
I love
So
it. Love it.
Fear. I actually really enjoy that movie too. That's a solid pick. So 96. This is not going to be hard for me. It's Scream. It's my favorite movie my favorite movie in 96, maybe my favorite 90s horror film, period. And that's just because, my dad, Billy Loomis, was in that movie and he he gave a great performance. But no, it's super influential. It's so awesome. I mean, Scream is so awesome. I don't want to gush about Scream on the whole stream, guys, but I love Scream. That's actually what they call me, Jill. That's what they call me, not him. No, I love the movie, and I'm gonna take the mask off now, guys, just because I'm not at work. When I'm working, I wear the mask, but wanted to represent. But Jill told me to put it on, that's why I did. But yeah, it's Scream for me. But you mentioned a lot in 96, like The Craft as well. 1031 just mentioned that. That's again criminally underrated.
And because we talked about Scream in the beginning, I wasn't sure if I needed to add that on the list for 96. So 96, don't get me wrong, Scream is my favorite of that year. But Fear, I was like, let me surprise people.
Hey, yeah, you were going against the grain. I respect it. I
love Fear. I mean, Fear's a great movie. Again, Bad Moon, The Craft, From Dusk Till Dawn. So many great films from 96.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Lord have mercy. I was gonna say something and I just slipped away. Oh yeah.
You what?
Guys, make sure if you haven't already, leave a like on the stream. All right. Smash that like button right now. Say, come here, you, and poke it. Crying says that the best ghost face reveal was me. Oh, well, I appreciate that.
I think so too.
I'm no Billy Loomis, but I think mine was pretty good too. By the way, Danny Horror is in here. Danny, what's up, brother? I forgot to shout you out. Mid-Level Media says, what's up, guys? Just rewatched Fear a few weeks ago, and it really held up for me. Yes.
Fear, awesome. I love your channel, by the way. Shout out to you.
Are you trying to talk in the microphone? That's well. I think they want to hear. I don't even think they want to hear me talk. They want to hear Justin talk. Yeah. All right, Justin.
They're like, Justin, Fear, get out of the room.
Give us 97, Justin.
97. So we got, again, did I pick? Okay, so I picked 3 of them that I could think of. Again, comment in the comments. Let me know some other 97 movies. But I know what you did last summer. Scream 2 and Wishmaster. So for you.
Which one'd you pick?
So as much as it kills me, because I do love this sequel, I'm going, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I talk about VHS memories. This was the first time I saw this, and my dad's like, why do you keep telling this story? I'm like, because it's a great memory that I have. I was visiting my dad at the time, and we went into the grocery store, and you always sometimes had grocery stores that had a little small section of movies that you can rent from.
Yeah.
And this just came out. I knew what this movie was. My dad did not. And he looked at this cover right here and said, Justin, you should rent this family movie. And I was like, oh, okay. And I knew what it was. So we go out to the car. We already rented the movie. And I told my dad, you know this movie's rated R, right? And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, you can watch it anyway. I'll let you watch it. And I loved it. I went home, went to my dad's house, watched it on VHS. Absolutely loved the movie, and rewatched it last night on 4th of July, and I still love it. While I think Scream's a better movie, this is a close second for me. You got great characters here. The 4 main actors, they were cast perfectly, and all of them did a great job. You got one of the best chase scenes in a movie, if not the best chase scene, and that is from Helen Sarah Michelle Gellar. her chase scene is very intense. It goes on, I think, for like 10 minutes total. From the alley to the department store to her demise. If you've never seen this, I spoiled the movie for you, but I love the chase scene. It's a great mystery slasher horror movie. I will always love this film. It's never, my opinion has never changed on this movie. And I think, as far as characters go and out of the 4 leads, the one that really stands out the most is Helen, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think she is great in this film. I love the fisherman killer. So for me, my pick is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay, so I see a lot of love in the chat. People also talking about Event Horizon, fantastic movie. They're talking about Jack Frost.
Love it.
Yeah, love that movie as well. First of all, I just want to say, I've said this many times before. I will again double down on this, triple down, quadruple down. I don't know how many times I've said it, but Jennifer Love Hewitt is a tall glass of water, and then some. And so is Sarah Michelle Gellar. The fact that they're both in that movie, loved their characters, loved the acting. You really gotta go away. Sorry. Love the movie. But for me, it is Scream 2. And William, go on, buddy. Go watch Mickey Mouse. Go watch Mickey. Yeah. I'm having to interrupt my stream to tell you to go watch Mickey Mouse. Anyway, so for me, it's Scream 2, and it's because I also Sarah Michelle Gellar in that movie, though horribly. We don't get a lot of her, unfortunately. But yeah, Rudy, it was Babe City. I mean, whether you're a guy or a girl, the cast was Babe City.
Ryan Phillippe, one of my favorite crushes still today. And
Insane.
I love, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, triple feature. I love Event Horizon. I think I was going for choices that I just remember as a kid. Event Horizon I saw later on, but I love that. That's a great movie from 97.
But yeah, it's Scream 2, man. It's Scream 2 for me. And I thought that's crazy. I didn't know that it came out in 97. I thought it came out in 98. Well, that's weird. Only a year later. Huh.
Yeah.
For a sequel to be that good and only be a year later, man.
Wow.
So yeah. Rudy says get in line, Justin. I saw Ryan first.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Scream 2. But again, that's hard because I Know What You Did Last Summer. I really, really love that movie. I really do. And I want to mention, guys, want to say really quick, I posted a poll on the channel for people to vote. And about the movie we're going to watch tomorrow. And I Know What You Did Last Summer won, but Justin watched it last night. Mm-hmm. Jill watched it last night. I saw people on social media watching it last night, and I said, well, I don't want to make everybody watch it again 48 hours later. So I think we're going to go with the second choice. And the second place choice wasn't far behind. And it's another great movie. And that's A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. I think that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to do a live commentary for the original Nightmare on Elm Street because I don't want to oversaturate the I Know What You Did Last Summer. T. Parker Evans, I watched it last night. So we'll do Nightmare. But yeah, Justin, all right, 98, brother. Let's get it.
All right, so I added some more to this list, guys, because I think there's some great films in the early 90s, but after Scream, we had a lot of films just come out. Like they were coming out every year between 96 and 1999. So 1998, Urban Legend, Bride of Chucky, Halloween H2O, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, The Faculty, and Disturbing Behavior. Shout out to Disturbing Behavior because that is an underrated one. So the one I went for, of course, is Urban Legend. I love all those movies I mentioned, but Urban Legend for me, I rewatched it last night. I know I watched it after I Know We Did Last Summer with a buddy of mine. And Urban Legend. The top 3 90s slashers for me go Scream, I Know We Did Last Summer, and Urban Legend. I think this one for the longest time was a bit underrated. Not a lot of people talked about it too much. I think it's definitely getting more of a fan base now. You got great directing by Jamie Blanks here, who would later go on to do Valentine, which is one of my favorites from the 2000s. You got a great overall cast here, a lot of early performances from people like Jared Leto and Tara Reid, Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. So, again, another great chase scene in this movie with Tara Reid. I think it's a great chase scene. I think it's pretty eerie, pretty chilling. It's a nice, like, mystery slasher film. Joshua Jackson. Yes, we needed more from Joshua Jackson, Rudy. I agree. But yeah, Urban Legend. That's my pick for 1998. Oh, and the beginning of it, by the way, Brad Dourif, the whole opening sequence, amazing. Amazing.
Justin, you got a comment.
One of my favorite films, underrated and fun. Thank you. Yes, I agree. I love Witchboard. That's one of my favorite horror movies. So thank you.
Okay. So I am a Halloween guy, and it's not Halloween H2O for me, guys. You guys know how I feel about H2O. 98 for me is going to be. This is hard. This is a hard one because I love Urban Legend. I love The Faculty, but I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Bride of Chucky, and
good choice.
Yeah, and I because Bride of Chucky for Child's Play was the best marriage of the creepy killer doll and the funny killer doll. You know, both of those kind of aspects of Chucky worked perfectly in Bride of Chucky. Now, Seed of Chucky, it went a little off the deep end with that, but I feel like Bride of Chucky was so funny and self-aware, and it's just a blast. So a lot of people probably didn't expect that. I saw 1031 just said didn't expect that. Yeah, I have a soft spot in my heart for Chucky. Chucky's my guy, and because I really think when I talk about yes. Rudy, Jennifer Tilly is a babe. She is still a babe. But when I talk about like big horror franchises, Child's Play might be in my top 3. Like I really love that series. So yeah, I'm going with Bride of Chucky here, and I'm proud to do that. I think that while H2O has its merits and definitely deserves some of the love it gets, for me, it's just, I don't know. It tried too hard to want to be something like Scream. And I mean, I could go all day about that. But yeah, it's Bride of Chucky for me.
Hey, I love Bride of Chucky. That would probably, yeah, it is in my top 3 favorite of the Child's Play movies. You know, Child's Play 2, and Bride of Chucky, all 3 in the top 3. I love that movie. It's a film, again, in the franchise of that series I go to quite a bit. I like the fact that it brought in the humor and it worked really well. You balance like a serious and humorous tone to it. Jennifer Tilly, fantastic in it. I love Jennifer Tilly. The introduction to Tiffany. I think Tiffany's a great character in the franchise. So yeah, Bride of Chucky, absolutely love it. Halloween H2O, I love that one as well. I think that's one of my personal favorites. I would say definitely top 5 for me. And yeah, I could see, you know, especially for the time, and I don't know if it was a studio interference. Yeah, it did feel like Scream, and it felt like all those slashers that were coming out at the time. But I still love Halloween H2O, except for the mask change. I'm like, how many times did they change that mask in that movie?
Oh my, four different masks are seen on screen. Yeah,
including
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't hate Halloween H2O. But and Jill mentions, let's not forget, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, I really enjoy that movie too. But I mean, if I had to pick, between that, Urban Legend, The Faculty, and Bride of Chucky. I'd probably pick all three of those before I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
I think I Still Know You There Last Summer. I love it just because it's so much fun. It's like a blast to watch. Like I still have yet to watch it, so I need to watch it this month. But I love that. Jill mentioned John Carpenter's Vampires, which I totally forgot to put on here. I love that movie too. That was another blockbuster day, renting that one on VHS. I love that.
Yeah, that I loved that movie too. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Good pick, Jill.
Jonathan Cavanaugh. Yeah, for me, Seed of Chucky's way worse than the worst movies of other friends. Yeah, I know people have soft spots for it. I know Justin has a soft spot for it.
I have a soft spot. I didn't like it at first, but now
it can make me laugh. I'll give it that. It can definitely make me laugh, but I haven't watched it in a long time, a really, really long time. But yeah, Justin, 99.
99. So my favorite horror movie came out that year, which was Blair Witch Project. We got the remake House on Haunted Hill, which I think is pretty underrated. I love that movie. Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon. Jill, some Kevin Bacon. Love Kevin. The Bacon, which is Kevin. The Haunting, which I personally think is a great remake. I just
rewatched that a couple weeks ago.
Did you? What'd you think of it?
I hadn't seen it since I was like 10, and I always remembered the fireplace scene with Owen Wilson. That's the thing that always stuck in my head. And I remember we were scrolling, and I was like, "Is this that movie? That, Owen Wilson, gets decapitated." She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Let's watch this." I really think that movie could use a modern adaptation if they're because the only thing about that movie that I thought was kind of whack was the special effects at the end. They're definitely dated. Okay, continue.
Let's see, Rudy, Justin, I picked up the Blair Witch Blu-ray set from Spain. Awesome. And yes, Book of Shadows looks great. We talk about 2000s horror movies. Book of Shadows is going to get a lot of love from me because I love that. But great job picking that up, Rudy. Great pick. But yes, then we got Sleepy Hollow. Came out in 1999. Idle Hands was mentioned. A great movie. And then one that not a lot of people talk about, The Rage Carrie 2, which again, I have a soft spot for that movie. Lake Placid's another good one, Jill. But yeah, The Rage Carrie 2, which that's a fun one. But the one I went for, I could have went Blair Witch Project because that is, again, my favorite horror movie from that year. But I wanted to go for one that I still think is pretty underrated, and that is Stir of Echoes. Again, one of those movies. It was a film where we rented it from Blockbuster on VHS. A lot of memories with Blockbuster. Love you, Blockbuster. On a Friday night, grabbing popcorn, grabbing candy, renting Stir of Echoes. And I still think this movie is pretty effective today and pretty eerie. Kevin Bacon gives a great performance. It's one of my favorite performances. Yeah, I just love it. I think it has a great twist. You love your bacon. I do love my bacon, Jill. I do. I think this is a very effective, eerie, creepy movie. If you've never seen it, it's got a really great twist at the end of it. But yeah, Stir of Echoes. Absolutely love that one. That is my pick, and that might surprise people again because I have a lot of love for the Blair Witch Project. That's top 5 for me. I've never seen Ravenous triple feature, so I need to watch it. And Deep Blue Sea. I consider that more like an action movie, but I love me some Deep Blue Sea. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. For me, guys, I'm actually going to do something when I tell you guys which my favorite is. Hold on. Let me show you. So I know this is not from the movie, but you guys get it. My favorite horror film from 99. Justin said, he gave it its love. Don't worry. But for me, it's the Blair Witch Project.
I love it.
I don't know what it is. But The Blair Witch Project, I mean, I know what it is, but I mean, it stuck with me for so long. I believed it was real. I was genuinely just freaked out. I thought the acting was really good. I thought I thought there were just some genuinely creepy moments, and it was one of them. It's not necessarily a modern movie now, but 20 years after the 70s, where you would do those types of movies where you didn't show a lot, and it was more like playing. It was theater of the mind, not showing you a lot, but giving you the idea that something is there, and what you don't see is scarier than what you do see. And Blair Witch Project did that incredibly well. Yeah, I really don't think there's much to be said about that movie that hasn't already been said. Scatterbrain, I live in Ohio as well. And so it was the same. It was like, for a while, I'm not going in the woods at night. I mean, I'm not going in the woods alone, period, even if it's not at night.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out every time I would camp after that. You would think about it kind of in the back of your mind, like, I better not hear any damn giggles outside the tent at 3:00 in the morning. That was one of the scariest parts of that movie when I first saw it, was when they like all wake up and they're in the tent, and you're waiting for something to happen. You just hear a giggle, and as soon as you hear the giggle, it's like they all run out. Oh my God. So Blair Witch Project for me, 99. And like I said, guys, Justin did give this movie its love. He was just going for something a little less, less obvious,
Well, I wanted to go because the Blair Witch Project is my favorite movie of that year. And it's in my top 5 favorite horror movies. But with Stir of Echoes, like, that was next to like the Blair Witch Project. I just remember renting that quite a bit at the store. But yeah, the Blair Witch Project, again, it's in the top for me. Like you said, you don't see anything in that movie, but the stuff that you don't see is terrifying. And, one time I remember watching the movie with headphones on, and the scene where they're in the tent and they hear the kids outside and the tent starts shaking. That was scary when you had the headphones on. It was like, wow, quite creepy. And when I was a kid, I thought it was real. They did such a great job marketing that movie. I know for like a year, the actors weren't allowed to like make appearances or anything like that. They wanted this to be believable, and it works. Some comments. Jill, I've only seen Wild Things once. I need to go and watch it again. Again, it has my Kevin Bacon in it, so I need to see that. I think it
has Kevin's bacon in it. That's what it's got.
Kevin's bacon.
Yeah.
Crying, I think you were the one that mentioned you prefer Blair Witch, the Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 over the first one. And what was my opinion? I think Blair Witch Project is still my favorite, but I think Book of Shadows 2, I could probably do a review on that entire movie by itself, because I think that's pretty underrated. And I love that. So if we talk about 2000s horror movies, that will be on my list. 1031. You what?
No, screw it. We're just going to do it. Next week's is going to be 2000, from 2000 to 2010.
Yes. And I promise next week, guys, I will have a better list. I'm going to crank out a list. Maybe Nick can do it. Nick's like, Justin, you list. What were you thinking?
No. I actually that made it flow easier, because I was just going to shoot from the hip. So, hey. But yeah, Blair Witch, man. Blair Witch.
1031 says he's making a fan edit of The Rage Carrie 2. Very nice. I don't see a lot of love for The Rage Carrie 2.
I've never seen it.
I never saw it in theaters. My buddy Doug saw it in theaters, and he and his mom were the only ones in the theaters. Like, it bombed at the box office. But my memories with that were seeing it on Sci-Fi. And I was like, I love it. So I loved it right away. By
the way, guys, don't worry. We're not ending right now. We did just reach the end of the 90s. We always go for a little bit longer, because I wanted to talk a little bit more about some 90s horror movies. but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on the topic. And actually, I need to give you another heads up. That the Monday stream will actually be done on Sunday, this coming Sunday, because I leave for vacation Monday. So we will be doing our Haddonfield High alumni episode Sunday evening. I'm going to say 6 p.m. That's what I'm going to shoot for. So we'll be back in 6 days with that one. But Crying's moving in with me. Hell yeah. I got a spare room. I mean, I'll be in here a lot recording stuff, but you can make some room on the futon. Ryan wants to know if anyone has seen the movie. What is that? Bad Little Things? Is it really bad things?
I have not. Campfire Tales, Jill. That's a great one. That is a great one.
Triple feature. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, if you've seen me throughout this looking around. There's a damn fly. One fly just flying around because she had the windows open yesterday. And I want to get this thing so bad. And it's just eluding. There he is. He's eluding me. I will get him. I'll get him. But so let's see, guys. Let's talk a little bit about
real quick. Jonathan says, I don't really catch a lot of live show. I don't usually catch the live shows, but it's fun. Can't wait for next week. Well, thank you. And Mid-Level Media says, nice 90s horror talk, guys. Underrated decade for sure. I agree. The 90s are a very underrated decade.
Everybody asking questions. Guys, we are not wrapping up yet, so don't scurry out of here. We're going to keep talking to you guys in the chat for probably about another half hour. But Taylor wants to know if we're doing a commentary tomorrow. Yes, we'll be doing a commentary tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for Nightmare on Elm Street. And like I said, I'm sorry, Crying. I know you wanted it to be I Know What You Did Last Summer, but a bunch of these turds watched it without us. So, Justin.
You promised me Halloween Resurrection tomorrow.
Speaking of which, that's funny you mentioned that. I'm uploading a patron exclusive Halloween Resurrection review tonight.
Cool.
A re-review of Resurrection. I'm doing that because look, it's a movie that I'm not a big fan of. And I want to talk about it, but I didn't want to put it on the channel because I don't know. It's more like something people have asked me to do. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to record it and upload it tonight to the Patreon. So if you're a patron, be on the lookout this evening for a Halloween Resurrection re-review done by yours truly. If you're not a patron, it's only $1. And I appreciate that. If you guys want to do it, means a lot to me and helps pay the YouTube bills. Yeah, let's see. Busta Rhymes. Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, Danny says look forward to it. It's one of my favorite. Yeah. Oh, it's totally one of my favorites. Antonis wants to know if I join Patreon, what are the perks? Okay, so really quick, since I was asked, I'll let everybody know that's watching right now about the Patreon if you're wondering what comes with it. Last night we submitted the order for the t-shirts. So we're ordering t-shirts. So those will be on the Teespring. If you become a patron to the 3rd tier, the After Dark Onslaught, you get a t-shirt, like just for being a part of that tier. But the entry-level tier is you get patron exclusive content. So normally I upload, actually as of now, like the schedule is to do 2 patron uploads a week as well, unless it's a big upload. But normally it's going to be 2 patron uploads a week. So I upload twice on my YouTube channel, and I do these 2 live streams with Justin, and then my patrons get 2 other uploads every week that aren't on my channel. So there's that. There's also, I give behind the scenes like looks at what I'm working on. So before I announce it to the YouTube community and on Instagram of what my next video is, my patrons will know ahead of time. And you also get a shout out at the beginning of every one of my videos. Just like Christian does and Lee does. We actually had our first one on Friday with that video, and I loved looking at it. I thought it was awesome. It was really cool to see everybody's names on there, and I appreciate everybody that's a part of it. But really, guys, the thing about it is I pay my buddy to edit these videos. And, you know, because he has a degree in this type of stuff, he knows what the hell he's doing. And, you know, the Patreon basically pays him, so I don't have to. And it's I don't know, it's really cool, but I'm making it a point to do a lot of very exclusive content for you guys. Like I have a skit coming out this Friday on my Patreon. Michael Myers lands a job interview. Let me tell you how fun that was to film. It was just me. I filmed it all by myself. So I played the role of the interviewer, and I played Michael wearing a dress shirt. He brings his knife to the interview, if anybody wants to know, of course. You know, there's a scene where he doesn't know how to shake hands, so he just puts his knife out. And, you know, he also cuddles with his knife in bed at night when he goes to sleep. So, yeah, I just wanted to let people know that is coming on Friday. And, well, and crying that. What's up, Doug? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? Love you, buddy.
Damn fly. Crying. That's because there was no editing before that. It was literally just recorded on my phone and put it up on my channel. But yeah, since you asked, Antonis, I just wanted to let you know that's the Patreon. That's what we do there. Yeah, I uploaded a patron exclusive room tour, which I'm upset with because people have been asking for it. And I didn't want to do it because I'm like, well, I'm in the process of, I have so much stuff boxed up that could be displayed right now. But it's boxed up because we're moving soon. And I have so many posters that I haven't put up because I want to get them framed and we're moving soon. So it's like, I wasn't able to show it in all its glory, but I wanted to show it for the people that, you know, I wanted to show it for the people that wanted to see it. And Triple Feature says he loves my Patreon. He paid $1 and immediately started getting late night calls of heavy breathing. Yeah, I mean, anything for you guys. Yes, Doug, it is funny. Obviously, I'm biased because I made it, but it's definitely cringy. It's definitely cringy. Jill.
What is she saying? Let me see these calls.
You know, so I mean,
where's my calls?
All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask anybody, any one of you guys, just ask and I'll get it. That damn fly. Sorry. Yeah. I'm going to kill this bastard. Anyway. No. And I appreciate that crying. Oh, Rudy. Hell yeah. I just got a Patreon. I just got a patron as we're doing this. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, guys, I mean, become a part of it. And I'm trying to get Justin to do a Patreon as well. I've been telling him he needs to do it. He has more subscribers than me, so I'm sure he could get some patrons, and I would definitely become a patron to you, Justin. I'm a patron for Christian and Lee. So, you know, my friends on Patreon, I will support you. Do it. You should do it.
We'll see. It might be a horror movie one. It might be a Magic Mike thing. I'm just kidding. That's not happening.
You could, Justin, oh my God, you can make a Patreon. You know how you're always talking about doing these dances from these horror movies?
I could do that.
You could put the dances on your Patreon.
There we go. And that's the only way you get to see those dances.
You got, by the way, Rudy, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, brother. That kicks ass. And it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that people care enough to do that. So I really appreciate the support. And then Triple Feature, he wants heavy breathing calls from you.
Yeah, I could do that too. Thank you, guys. I might do it. I'm thinking a Patreon could happen. And yes, Jill, do a Patreon for the bacon. I think so. I think the Kevin Bacon. There we go.
Yeah.
Kevin Magic Mike took my money. Yes. Woo. So
tips for nips. There you go, Sam. Heavy breathing calls with Christian, bro. You didn't get the last whatever. If I sent Christian a heavy breathing call, dude, he'd be unsubscribing. He'd be like, this guy's weird, bro. But yeah, guys, that's my thank you for asking, Antonis, and that's my little plug about the Patreon. I had to give Christian a hard time last week. I was like, hey, you better pony up $1 and become a patron because I became a patron for you. Dude, like 3 minutes later, he became a patron. I think he just forgot.
I'm going to become a Patreon too. Do I need to set up an account? But how does this work? How does this
I
work?
think so. I
Okay.
mean,
I'm
Lord,
assuming you do, so
yeah,
yes.
but you don't have to. Like, all you have to do is you just create a Patreon. Whether you're posting to it or not, you can just create an account and then just become patrons to other people. And everybody does cool stuff too, like Christian. I'll talk about Christian's Patreon real quick, guys. I don't know if you're a patron to Christian, but he uploads like snippets of cover songs that he does, and they're really good. Like, he did "Hail to the King" last week, Avenged Sevenfold. I love that song. He did. He just had one come out yesterday, and I think it was yesterday. I can't remember what song it was. He also does. He's done stuff in the past, patron exclusive uploads and whatnot. He's definitely, like, he gives you a look into other things that he does, like especially the music side of it. So I love Christian's Patreon as well. But it's just a cool way to support content creators, guys, because unless you're someone like, I don't know, with 100,000 subs, you're not making enough money. You're not really making money on YouTube. And I gotta, we gotta buy stuff. We gotta buy movies. We gotta buy posters. We gotta buy merch because we can't help ourselves. And the Patreon helps support the channel so we can pay for these things and show them to you guys. So, just a cool way to do it. Nips for tips, tips for nips. Yeah, Doug likes the idea. Doug likes it.
I'm seeing those comments down there. I don't know if you guys will see my nips. I don't know what's going to happen.
But guys, I want to open this up for a few minutes. Anybody got any questions? Antonis, okay, there's our first question. Right on cue. Are you guys originally from the States? Yes, I was born in Ohio, and I still live in Ohio.
I was born in Kentucky. I've moved off and on my whole life, but I'm back in Kentucky. Let's see.
Christian, this Halloween season is going to cost me a fortune. You're damn right, brother.
It's going to cost me a fortune too, Christian. So that's why I got to do some Magic Mike stuff. So.
Yeah. Hey, whatever pays the bills, Justin,
Right.
No shame.
I need that stuff in my life for the Halloween season. So I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah. And it's like I was saying, Christian, I don't know if you're still in here or not, because I know he pops in sporadically. But I was telling them at the start of this, because we talked about the 4K releases that aren't officially announced yet, but we're going to get them.
They're coming.
We know they're coming. That's going to be $200 alone just for all 5 of those. And I have to buy them. There's no way around it. So and then we have Halloween Kills coming out. So, I'm going to want to buy a Kills shirt, and I'm going to want to buy a Kills mask. And, Christian is putting nudes on his Patreon. Hell yeah. Got to make that money.
And then triple feature, if I make a Patreon, I will let you know.
Rhyme time. Don't worry. I'll keep bothering Justin about it until he does it. What else did I see? I saw another comment I wanted to address. Jill, what are you doing on vacation? I am going to, yes, part 3's artwork is awesome, Christian, but my favorite is part 5. And I just love the inclusion of the scythe. And I don't know. I just thought it looks, because I think that kind of cheesy style works perfectly with 5, because 5 is very 80s cheese. So I love that. But Jill, I'm going to a lake in Tennessee, Lake Norris, with my family. And we used to do it every year. And then, we got older. We all moved out. My mom didn't really bring us together for it anymore. And then, now she decided this year, hey, we're going back. So I'll be on a freaking lake with no service, by the way. Yeah. Christian giving love to part 5's art. Yeah. I like 4's art too. I really do. I don't dislike any. The only one that I think looks a little weird is 2. I really think, and I see that too, Christian, that a lot of people don't dig them. And I don't know why. So many people are like, this is corny. Like, this is lame.
I think they're fun. That they scream fall. They scream fall. And I love that.
Oh yeah. So that's $200 right there. But yeah, I will have no service whatsoever. And I'm not even kidding, Jill. I am so sorry. I know. I'm sorry, Justin. I'm sorry, Christian. Christian, if you're still in here, I don't know if you wanted, I don't mind, by the way. I'm just going to say this. I don't know if you want to do 2 episodes this week, and so we can have one in the can for you to drop it next week while I'm on vacation. I don't mind at all if you want to do that. Just let me know, or if you wanted to do this week's and then take a week off while I'm on vacation next week. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, no service, guys. No lake vlog. I'll take some pictures and videos and stuff. Maybe I'll show. I don't know. Yes, Christian, we can do too, brother. That's totally fine with me. You let me know. You let me know, guys. We have a really cool idea, Justin. I will tell you when we're not recording because I don't think Christian. I don't want to spoil it yet, but we have a really cool idea. Christian has a really cool idea, but it's funny because I talk to him about it all the time, and he's always telling me like, "Oh, dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like it's funny. I do the same thing." And then he was like, "What if we did a video on this?" And I was like, "Oh my God, it would be hilarious." So can't wait for you guys to see that one. That one might have to be like a premiere to be in the chat for that, Christian, because I would love to like hear people as we're reacting, I think that'd be really cool. So, but yeah, the stream will be Sunday this week. No crying, I can't tell you. Ask Christian. Ask Papa Christian. He's in the chat right now. You guys go ahead and ask Christian if we're allowed to spill the beans or not.
Scatterbrain says, do you think the Scream Factory is going to release the rest of the Halloweens on 4K? Don't know. I guess it just depends on the company that they're from. So,
yeah, I would be cool with it. I don't know about you. What do you think?
Me, I would love it. I would get them. So with Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, though, I want both versions because I know with the box set, for some reason, they could not get the theatrical version. So if they did those on 4K, I would love to have the theatrical versions as well.
Jill, the next stream is the next stream. Are you talking? Oh yeah, the next stream is Nightmare on Elm Street tomorrow night. Watch along at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Sunday we're doing the 2000s, right? It's Sunday.
Yeah, 2000 and 2010 horror movies. But yeah, I think Christian popped back out, guys. So, but I'm not going to say what the idea is yet because I really think you guys are going to like it. Triple feature. Yes, triple feature's taking over for me at the You Need a Horror podcast. I'm being pushed out. I'm being fired. By the way, guys, I went no hat on the last episode. I let the hair flow.
I saw that, and fantastic episode, by the way.
Everybody has always said, they've been saying, to go without the hat, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So, whatever. That was a fun episode. I really, really enjoyed talking about Spirit.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Jill. We appreciate that. We hope all of you guys are there. And if you're able to, if you're not able to, you gotta come on the playback because we always have fun. I mean, we always joke around. We're always quoting the movie, laughing at stuff, talking in the chat when we do these live commentaries. They're always so fun.
Yeah, love them. But I was gonna say, I love you and Christian's podcast. It's fantastic. Like I watched your latest one and that was a lot of fun and it got me in the mood for Halloween. I'm ready for October to be here already.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, damn, got all this money to spend. Where is this money? I need this money so I can spend it. Where is it?
It's like we're gonna spend it on movies and then October theme related stuff. I'm like, dang it, Halloween 4Ks and I pre-ordered things already, so it's crazy.
Danny says I'll be there on the playback. Linton Jonas, big up from the UK. Your content is fire. Thank you, my man. Rudy, the podcast is fun. Yeah, it is fun. It really is fun. We have a good time. We were gonna do a Nightmare on Elm Street this week. I think that might be one of the two still because we're gonna record two, so he can drop one next week when I'm on vacation. But I don't think that's going to be this week. So that might be next week for the You Need a Horror podcast because Christian, he wanted a break from the big three franchises because it can get exhausting talking about it. It definitely can. Also, guys, I wanted to let you know that I have an idea for this fall and I want to know how everybody feels about it. It is not an original idea. I know everybody's done it at some point, but I thought, why not bring it to the channel? I haven't even mentioned it to Justin yet. So this is right on the spot with Justin. And I want to talk to Christian about it and, get everybody's thoughts and what they think. But I believe that this fall, I'm wanting to do a kind of 31 on 31 type thing. Maybe not on Halloween, but right near Halloween. I want to do talking the big three and ranking them all from our favorite to our least favorite. And I think that would be cool. I know a lot of people have done it already. I've never done it. I don't think Justin's ever done it.
No.
So I think, hey, me, Christian, Justin, get a fourth person in there, just freaking go for it. I think that'd be fun.
I think it would be fun. I'm down for it. So let's definitely plan on something, because that would be a lot of fun. I mean, the three main franchises for me are Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Doug says,
Doug, absolutely. I loved Doug. I've told you this before, but one of the videos I used to watch all the time when I was younger was your Halloween collection video, where you had it sprawled out all over your bedroom, and I loved that video. I mean, that was one of my favorite videos when I was younger. So I would love to have you on here and introduce you to the audience and get to know you more, a little face to face. But yeah, we have fun. I hope Justin doesn't badmouth me behind my back.
I do not. I hope I'm not like too crazy on these live.
Oh no, Justin, you have nothing to worry about. Okay, did you not hear me and Jill's conversation during the Scream commentary? Okay, she was getting a little racy, then I was getting a little racy, then you were getting a little racy. Then we were all just, it was no holds barred, guys.
And tonight it's been Nips and Kevin Bacon and his bacon.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And you know what? We don't apologize for that, because the listeners demand it. And but yeah, guys, if you haven't left a like yet, you smash that. You smash that thing right now. Like it.
Please.
Also, exciting bit of news, Justin. I'm about, let's see, 3 uploads away from monetization.
That is awesome, buddy. Congrats.
I am about to break the 4,000 watch hours plateau in the last 12 months, really in the last 4 months, but because I didn't post until like March this year. But yeah, I'm really excited about that too. That'll be cool. So you guys will have to deal with an ad at the beginning of my videos, which you can skip it after 5 seconds. But you guys are about to have to deal with ads. Your boy is moving up in the world.
I've started getting ads like in my videos, so I don't know what that is. So I have no idea. Is that what that is?
Like on your videos?
Yeah, on my videos. So I have no idea.
Every now and then YouTube just does it anyway, and you don't get any money for that. Yes, it has crying. I've gained about 450 subs in the last 3 months. So part of that is just being around again and making content. Doug, who the hell thumbed this video down? Probably my creepy stalker. I think he's just obsessed with me, and but he loves to create fake accounts and thumb it down. So, but it's okay, whatever.
I was gonna say, and I say this before, and I mean it. You're doing such an amazing job on your channel, dude, and I'm so proud of you. So
you know what my favorite thing from all this has been? I'm not even kidding you. Like, my favorite thing, I was talking to Phil about this the other day, was seeing how it has reinvigorated you, because you were one of my favorite channels, one of the first channels that got me into making YouTube videos. And to see you back and regularly posting, and now you're doing your live streams on your channel, and like, you really seem like you've gotten this second wind of energy for YouTube again. And I love to see it. I love to see it, because it makes me feel like I've done something that matters. Like, I've brought you happiness again in the YouTube forum, YouTube times, or on your channel. So I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say, but and it's definitely, it's really made me, I don't know, it's made me happy. It really makes me happy to see you back, because I love your content. So
I know at one point I thought I was going to leave it like 2018. I didn't know if I was going to continue, but I've had so much fun, this past year making videos again, but like doing these live chats with you has really brought my energy back up. And like you said, there's a second life there. And so I thank you for letting me a part of your live chats and doing this every week and two live chats a week. Started with the live chats, the commentaries. So
Hey,
thank
you don't have to thank me, buddy. The pleasure's all mine that you would want to come onto here. So
well, I thank you, and I thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
I appreciate that. You're a very good friend, Justin.
You are too.
Jill says we can super chat once. Yes, you can. You can send me $20 like you send Christian because he's your favorite, Jill. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Jill. No, thank you.
Let's see. Triple Feature's crying right now. I think it's your personality. Honestly, a lot of creators grow a following for that. But okay, crying. I'm never going to get famous. Don't worry. Because I don't do the clickbaity stuff. Like, I'm never going to be a content creator like that. Like, the most clickbaity thing I've done in the last year was the Halloween Kills trailer reaction. And that's not even clickbait because you guys know Halloween is my favorite thing ever. And I was waiting for that trailer. So I wanted to show you guys my reaction. But and that video blew up. It got over, it's closing in on 1,200 views in like a week. So like, yeah, and I get it. But you guys know I don't do the cheap stuff. I'm not the type of guy that's going to make a video that's like, okay, so they announce a new Scream movie and someone goes like, Scream 5, Nev Campbell dies? ? And then people are like, what? And then they click on it and the guy has no idea what he's talking about. He just wanted to be clickbaity to try to get people to I don't do that. It's not me.
I will clickbait with my magic Mike-ness. I'm just kidding. That might happen.
Let's see. Midnight Geek watched. I know what you did last night. See, everybody watched it. Yeah. Everybody watched it.
I was like, do I watch it? Because I know we're supposed to do it. I was like, I'll watch it again if I need to, but I had to watch it.
Danny says some of those dodgy Insta pics you posted the other day. Oh man, you guys do. Are you aware? Did you see it?
I did not.
I made a mistake. Okay. I'm not going to go into it, but my buddy and I send photos back and forth. And when we do that, we'll like put stuff in the background on them, like where like it's a totally normal photo. And then there's just like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to get into detail of what they all are, but like they're very, very edgy. And there may or may not have been one that had a naked man on it in the background. What? Yes. It was in the back. Anyway, he did it. It's like we sent picture back and forth. I'll put a sticker on it or something and see if he notices it. And then when he notices it, we laugh like, oh yeah. Well, this one I accidentally posted on my Instagram.
Oh, you bad boy.
I know. And Danny and Triple Feature caught it in like the first 3 minutes and commented on it. And Rudy saw it too. And I was like, oh my God, no. Yeah, you say it's sus. Okay. It's funny. We do that stuff. We've done that stuff for years. But yeah, it wasn't the first photo. I posted a series of photos. You had to swipe to see it. And I didn't even notice it because it was like off in the corner in the background. And I thank you guys for letting me know. I really do. Because yeah, that
I did not see this. Yes. Where was I? I don't know where I was.
I know. It lasted about 5 minutes, Justin. So,
then you naughty boy.
I know. I feel terrible. I mean, I laughed so hard at work about it. I was like, I'm such an idiot. But T. Parker Evans says Nick is too real for the clickbait bandwagon. You know it. That's not me. I will say though, right now, one of the best topics to be talking about, last week, the best topic to be talking about was Halloween Kills. Every video I did on Kills was, doing pretty well. Midnight Geek found me through Christian Hannah Horror, and I appreciate that. Rudy says, I wondered what kind of drive-in you went to. Yeah, it was it was an X-rated drive-in, Rudy.
Oh my goodness. See that? I saw your drive-in. I missed that part of it.
Well, I reposted it with the right photo yeah.
What drive-in did you go to, Nick?
I know. But yeah, guys, I am so sorry. I just kind of gone on a tangent. But yeah. But I guess, people say they like my personality. I feel like my personality is very similar to Justin's, except Justin he's definitely more forgiving of certain movies than I am.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll ever see Justin he could. I'm not saying you couldn't do this. I'm just saying I don't know if you'll ever see Justin make a video like, here's the 10 worst horror movies I've ever seen. He could do it. I know he has 10, but I don't know if you'd ever see it.
See, I try not to. So when I post stuff, and I get this through Instagram sometimes too. People are like, you love everything. I said, I do not love everything. I either A, if it looks bad, I ain't gonna go see it. Or two, if I don't like it, I'm like, why do I talk about it? But you know what? I'm gonna have a new YouTube series called Being Real with Justin.
Let's get real.
Let's get real. Let's get real. We're gonna talk about Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead. An entire episode devoted to Freddy's Dead, Cabin Fever's remake, and Wrong Turn 6.
Oh, there's probably Fantasy Island. Ugh. So, yes, I want to get one of those chairs that spins around, and I'm going to have a coffee cup in my hand, and I'm going to go, let's get real.
Yeah.
Hello.
Crying. I try to be positive even when I'm being negative, if that makes sense. Like when I talk about a movie that I don't like, you don't hear me really elaborate on it much because I don't like to dabble in the negative too much. So I'll just go, this movie, nope, hate it. Like, and that's pretty much the extent of what I might say a quick blurb about it, but I don't focus on the negative.
Yeah.
Same. I like to be positive. It shouldn't hurt. Oh, Just in Time. That's a good one.
I'm loving this. And Doug knows a movie that he loves that I hate.
What?
So I'm just letting you know, Douglas, her name is Lola, but she wasn't a showgirl. So that's all I'm going to say about Lola. He knows it. He knows it.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Justin, if you did a series like that, I would watch it. I would watch it. I would watch the hell out of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, I love all you guys. You guys are like my best friends. All right, we got Rudy, we got Doug, we got Sam, we got Jill, we got Crying, we got Charlie, we got T. Parker Evans, we've got
Grandma. I love
Grandma. We've got Antonis,
Kristen, Doug.
Yes,
everybody. Sam, Crying. So
I mean, you guys are always here. You show up every single episode, and we could do an episode of just Justin and I talking about our day. I guarantee most of you guys would show up. Okay, because it seems like you guys genuinely do enjoy talking with us and hearing us talk, and that blows my mind that people want to hear me talk, because I was told throughout high school, Justin, all the time, oh, J-Dev, hey, what's up? J-Dev too, buddy. How you doing, brother? It's just, I don't know, man. It's cool because in high school, I was always told that you think you're the class clown. You think people want to hear you talk. You think you're funny. You're not. You're not. Yeah.
Aww.
Well, that was my teachers because I was always in trouble. But I was always in trouble because I like to chat. I'm a chatty Cathy, but
I ramble sometimes, and I appreciate you enjoying my rambling. So I appreciate that, Nick, and everyone.
Buddy, we both ramble. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. You're always like, I'm sorry if I interrupted you, and I always laugh inside because I'm like, ha, you interrupting me? I always feel like I'm interrupting you.
I feel like I do it because I get so excited every Monday. This is my favorite thing to do. I love talking with you, and I love talking with all of you guys.
Hell yeah, Ryan. What's up, brother? Yeah. I always forget people. Like if you haven't commented recently, I just like when I'm naming off people, I just go with the recent names. But believe me, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Okay.
Yes, we love you.
I was the kid in class that nobody heard speak. Well, I was the opposite. Everybody knew who I was. I'll tell you that much. Not because I was mean or anything. I just talked a lot. You know, I wasn't a bully at all. God, look at me. I'm like Skeletor. Okay. Nobody was scared of me. I wasn't a bully. I wasn't pushing anybody around. I was just kind of a smart ass. I was a class clown. You know, hey, whatever. I mean, Justin over here, freaking Justin, like it's not already enough that you have a great channel and you're a really good dude and I really enjoy talking to you, but Justin freaking beat cancer, guys. Like, can we just take a minute to that's awesome.
33, not 33. What am I? Justin, you're good. No. 23 years in March. Next March. It'll be 23 years. 23
Danny
years.
as well. Danny as well. Love you, bro. But yeah, Justin. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that. Justin kicked cancer's ass years ago.
I did. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yep. You never know, but Justin's an open book. He's talked about it before.
My boyfriend had cancer too and beat it. That's awesome, Bill. That is so awesome. So awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So I try to be.
He's awesome. Like, there's nothing Justin can't do, basically. That's what I'm trying to say.
You know, well, I appreciate that, but I think you're awesome, and it's so funny. 10 years. It's been a long time since we've known each other. But, like, it's been so much fun, like, kind of reconnecting again through YouTube, and now I consider you one of my close friends, and I think you're just awesome, dude. You are awesome. So
yeah, dude, the pleasure's all mine. William. He can't see you. The camera's up here, buddy. Yeah, he can't see you. Did you want to say hi?
Hi, William.
You want to say hi, William? Here. Say hi.
Hi.
He's got a mess on his shirt, but say hi. Wait.
Hi, William.
Say hi. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Bye. What are you saying bye for? Well, I mean, William has the right idea, guys, because we are wrapping up now. It was and always is a blast. And I appreciate you guys, and I know Justin does too. And honestly, I love that we do these on we do a commentary on Tuesdays now too, because I always I always hated waiting a week. So when are we having a Lost River Drive-In meetup? Don't worry, Justin and I will be getting together this summer at some point. I'll probably go to him because I would love to meet Doug as well.
Yes.
So I'll probably go in his neck of the woods. And but yeah, we'll do that. And when we do that, we will do a video together in person. I have no idea what it'll be, but we'll do a video together in person. Maybe it'll just be a live stream. And we'll just do it in person.
That'd be awesome. Bye, Jill. Thank you. We love you. We love you all. We can all meet up at the rest stop. Well, that's sexy right there.
Late at night. Yeah.
That's sexy right there. That's sexy. And Doug loves The Loved Ones. That's a movie I do not love. Okay. So I gotta give a shout out to Doug. He loves The Loved Ones. Yeah. But yeah, just thank you guys so much for all you guys do. Thank you, Nick. I'm gonna say it all the time, but thank you. But thank you guys so much for tuning in every Monday. This is my Mondays. I look forward to this. So, and Tuesdays. Now we got the live commentary, so that's always fun too.
Yeah, we're busy. We're busy bees over here, Justin.
We are, and I think this Thursday I'll be doing my first live Q&A. So if you guys have questions for me,
I saw that. I will be in there. Don't you worry, my friend. All right, guys. Well, thank you everyone for being in here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for leaving a like. Make sure to sub if you haven't already, and sub to Justin if you haven't already. Follow us on social media. Have a kick-ass rest of your Monday. Have a great Tuesday morning, and we'll see you tomorrow night to watch A Nightmare on Elm Street together.
Can't wait, guys. Love you guys.
See ya.